Skip, remind you now, he only weighed 144, so he was basically 10 pounds, basically under the weight. But he wiped it out.
A much smaller guy just because he's at the end of the road, but the fight's so big and the money's so big, he's gonna have to take it. I bet he retires after that fight.
To start playing catch up in rounds 4, 5, 6, believe me, by the 7th round, Canelo is going to be a little muscle fatigued, right? We've seen that.
Shannon Sharpe strongly warned Canelo Alvarez about facing Terence Crawford, suggesting the fight could end badly for Canelo. He emphasized Crawford's superior speed, skill, and stamina, hinting that the bout might be more than just a loss. It could potentially mark the end of Canelo's dominance in the boxing world. Canelo Alvarez revealed he now has a retirement plan, reflecting on his 20-year career as a professional boxer. He admitted that after so many years in the ring, the desire to explore life beyond boxing grows stronger, and sometimes he simply wants to do something different with his time at Hearn.
Has retirement ever crossed your mind? Have you ever thought about that?
I always say like 37 is good time to go. It's not because I can be in the boxing anymore, but sometimes you need to do something else. So I'm being in October I turned 20 years as a professional fighter. So it's meant a lot of years. So.
The longtime promoter and close insider to Canelo Alvarez's career has sparked fresh speculation by stating that this upcoming fight with Terence Crawford could be Canelo's final bout. According to Hearn, the Mexican superstar may be reaching the end of his legendary journey, and the Crawford challenge might be the ultimate test that signals his retirement. This statement doesn't come lightly. Hearn has been with Canelo through multiple phases of his career and understands the physical and mental toll the sport has had on him. With nearly 2 decades in professional ring, Canelo could be seeking closure through this fight.
Do you see that fight now differently based on how Canelo performed against Skull Eddie?
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah? Oh, wow.
It wasn't just the fact that he couldn't cut the ring off. I just feel like the timing now, the age, Canelo is amazing. I mean, not just because of his ability and what he's accomplished, but the fact that he still has the desire for those training camps and those fights. But I just feel like that desire might be fading a little bit. Not because of his love, but just because of age and life. Do you know what I mean? And don't get me wrong, the Crawford fight will definitely get him up for it. But I was actually watching that fight thinking I wouldn't be surprised if he retired and actually didn't fight Crawford, because I don't think he'll want to lose to Crawford, a much smaller guy, just because he's at the end of the road. But the fight's so big and the money's so big, he's going to have to take it. I bet he retires after that fight.
Closing his chapter against one of the most technically brilliant boxers of the era, Canelo's recent performance against John Ryder, and more notably against William Skull, raised concerns for Eddie Hearn. He observed signs of aging, slower combinations, lack of sharpness in head movement, and notably a decrease in punching power. The once fierce explosiveness that defined Canelo's mid-career seems to have dimmed. Bernie, one of Crawford's close team members, echoed immense confidence in Terrence's ability to beat Canelo. He didn't just call Crawford a great, he called him a legend. What's more surprising is the shift in support among Mexican fans.
Yeah.
Now, the man said, now it's both good. Say, not going to beat me. You say, I'm telling you, I guarantee I'm going to beat you. So you know what I'm saying? That's how Crawford is. That's how he feel. He believe in his heart. And you could tell it. You could look him in his eyes. You know what I mean? And a lot of people believe that Crawford going to win this fight. And a lot of Mexican people.
Yeah, they supporting him. They supporting him.
A lot of Mexican people, you know. So they got their formula why Crawford going to beat him. But it's a tremendous fight. I think Canelo, like I say, is a living legend. You know, everything that he do. A lot of people don't like him. A lot of Mexicans don't like him. But I love him. I think he does everything good in the ring. I think, you know, from swag to everything. I just love Canelo. I can't take it away from him. You know, he had them little allegations and everything. Yeah. And that's a damper on him. But I try not to focus on that. You know what I mean? I know he got in there with the baddest guys, the toughest guys, and he came through with flying colors. So I give him all the credit, going up there fighting Bivol when nobody knew who Bivol really wasn't paying attention to him. That man was a 25-year-old champion, the reigning champion, title defenses under his belt, and young and good. And Canelo fought him. So, you know what I'm saying? That was a challenge. You feel me? Had the height, had the reach, had a lot of, you know what I mean? So I give Canelo none but credit. I thank him for allowing us to get this fight. And you see what Crawford said. I didn't get to get, Canelo got to fight these guys with the names. I didn't necessarily get to fight all the guys with the names when I wanted to. But I got him.
Yes.
And that's the how it comes around full circle. And when God got it for you, nobody can be against you. And so I think he's the most deserving fighter of that outside of Benavidez. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Besides that, but Benavidez still doesn't bring the super fight dynamic to it.
Yes.
It's a really good fight with Benavidez, but this is a super fight. Exactly. We have legends fighting each other. David Benavidez has yet to become a legend. He's still growing in the sport.
Absolutely.
Crawford is a legend. 14 years in the sport, 10 years as champion, 11 years going on. You understand? Undisputed 2 different times, fighter of the year, all those different things. So, like I say, and the mystique of Crawford is legend in itself. The mystique of Crawford. So, I mean, so it's a super fight. Again, I thank Canelo Alvarez for taking the.
While Canelo remains a national icon, even some loyal supporters are beginning to tilt toward Crawford. This isn't just about fandom. It's about seeing skill, momentum, and hunger. Bernie pointed out that Crawford performances have captured respect globally, and even Canelo's base recognizes how dangerous Bud is. When admiration begins to cross borders like this, it speaks volumes about what kind of legacy Terence Crawford is building. Former middleweight champion Kelly Pavic gave a blunt and honest take on the matchup. Contrary to popular belief,
he's a great fighter. I mean, that's it. Crawford is so talented. He's got so much ability in boxing, his boxing ability. And he's a bigger guy, too. He's almost every bit as big as Canelo, right? So that's what makes it tough. Like, yeah, Canelo's used to fighting guys coming down from 200 probably, at light heavyweight. And Crawford ain't. But it's just too hard to pick on that because of Crawford's ability and boxing skills. I'm not going off of Canelo's last fight. The guy he was fighting was in survival mode pretty much. He was just fighting not to get knocked out. When you fight a guy like that, you're not going to look good, right? I don't care what anybody says. When you fight a guy that's running around trying to survive, it makes it hard. So I don't go off of that, but this fight is going to be interesting. I mean, I would almost have to kind of lean with Canelo, but I'm not making that pick. Just saying, guys, so nobody come at me. I'm going to sit back and enjoy this one, not worrying about anybody, saying, hi, you're wrong, or talking. But it'll be a good one.
He labeled Crawford as the bigger guy in terms of strength and effectiveness in the ring. Pav emphasized Crawford's raw talent, tactical control, and insane physicality. But more telling was his critique of Canelo. Pavel feels that in recent fights, Canelo has fought conservatively, not aiming to dominate or knock out opponents, but merely to avoid defeat. This style may not be enough against someone as hungry and dynamic as Crawford. The contrast Pav draws is clear. One man is climbing toward greatness. The other is trying to hold on renowned trainer Robert Garcia added fuel to the conversation, agreeing with the notion that Canelo has noticeably shifted away from aggressive knockouts. Garcia said it plainly, Canelo is tired, having fought professionally since he was just a teenager.
Was able to knock out Berlanga, but not Canelo.
It's because Canelo doesn't go out for the knockout anymore. Canelo's just now. We've seen in the last few fights, he just does enough to win. He did the same again, Munguia. He dropped Munguia, but then they didn't want to finish him. Charlo, Berlanga. He wants to cruise through the fight. He's up there. And not in age because he's only like 33 or 34, but he's
fighting since 15.
He was 15. A lot of training camps, a lot of sparring matches. So all that takes a lot out of your body. So he takes care of his body too. So he doesn't go all out because he doesn't want to just finish his body. He knows he still has a few more years and a few big fights where he wants to take care of himself. And not punish himself too much. That's why he hasn't been able to knock those guys out. Not because he can't. I think he just does enough to win. I think Shiraz also has great power, man. I think Shiraz has the power that nobody believed he had.
Canelo has worn the grind of boxing on his shoulders for nearly 20 years. The precision and calculated risks of his early career have given way to a more cautious approach likely to preserve energy and reduce damage. Garcia's statement is not criticism. It's an acknowledgement of Canelo's wear and tear. He has been through wars, carried boxing on his back, and the cost is now surfacing inside the ring. Popular analyst Showbiz the Adult described the Crawford-Canelo fight as potentially history-making. Beating Canelo, one of boxing's biggest global stars, would elevate Terence Crawford to legendary status. It's not just about titles anymore. It's about legacy. However, Showbiz also pointed to the double-edged sword of greatness. If Crawford dominates too well,
going to attempt to do something that is so incredible, so magnificent, so amazing as a fighter and for his legacy, in trying to beat Canelo Alvarez, the 168-pound undisputed champion. My fear is, if he does that, if he accomplishes that, if he is able to succeed in accomplishing such a magnificent goal, people will immediately discredit Terence Bud Crawford and his victory, calling him a drug cheat.
conspiracy theories might rise. People may question how a smaller fighter outclassed someone like Canelo. In the social media age, greatness often invites suspicion. The bigger the victory, the louder the noise. For Crawford, this could be both the pinnacle of his career and the start of a narrative war he'll have to deal with post-fight. Veteran sports commentator Stephen A. Smith, known for his candid views, gave a clear prediction. He sees Terence Crawford winning this fight on points. According to Smith, Crawford's discipline, ring IQ, and control of tempo could earn him a unanimous decision against a bigger but slower Canelo. Stephen A. pointed out that while Canelo remains dangerous, his output in recent fights has dipped and Crawford thrives in longer battles that go the distance. A decision win, especially over 12 intense rounds, would cement Crawford's standing as not just the best active fighter, but one of the greats of the modern era.